Magical girls and Pokemon sure do go together. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, episode 113 of the Sun and Moon anime just dropped. This episode is entitled, A New Program? A Melody of the Small Magikarp. And I gotta say that the preview for this episode made this episode sound like it's gonna be about the quiz when it focused on the struggles of an actress Magikarp. So, how was the episode? Well, let's find out. Before I start this episode, I do have to say that this is also going to be one of those episodes from a few weeks ago where there isn't much visuals accompanying the audio, and that's because I'm super busy this week, so I don't have a lot of time to edit. I'm sorry about that. Anyways, on with the review. The episode begins with Sophocles in the Alola quiz show competing. Him and some kid that is never given a name are fiercely competing in the preliminaries. Unfortunately, Sophocles comes up short. Our heroes are backstage comforting him and tell him that he did well. As they're talking backstage, George, the TV show producer from episode 98, stumbles upon them where he sees Rotom. Rotom introduces him to the group since they haven't met him beside Ash. The director was hoping that Rotom has changed his mind and wanted to be part of Alolan Lucky, but since he isn't, he tells them that there's a shooting of a drama show outside and he takes them there. When they get there, they see that the show is shooting a show with Koi-chan, or a famous female Magikarp. Ash doesn't know who she is and neither do we, and the group tell him that she's a child prodigy and the star of the hit drama A Tiny Koi King's Melody. Koi King, by the way, being Japanese for Magikarp. She can apparently even do a spin and do a splash rather than just hopping around, and her cries melts the hearts of people. In fact, she's so famous that Kiawe sheepishly tells Rotom to get a picture of her for his little sister, of course. He does so, but he's cut off by the manager, who yells at him and tells him, "No unauthorized pictures." They're about to film a scene where Koi-chan has to part ways with her friend Yungoos, and she has to cry. But when she goes to do it, her voice drastically changes from this cute cry to one way more groggy and deep than it should. They try a few times to reshoot the scene, but nothing seems to be working. And on top of that, she seems to be frequently glowing, as if she's about to evolve. Her manager puts her in a tank and takes her away to try to figure out what's wrong. George is about to leave when we see two of George's assistants approach him frantically. They tell George that their stars for their program are missing. They were shooting in Sinnoh when a blizzard hit due to an Abomasnow and a Frostlass fighting, so they can't fly back. Sinnoh confirmed, and if they don't shoot that day, they would have to place something else in its place. But George doesn't seem too worried and says that unexpected things create a new opportunity. So George looks around and determines that he can make a drama with Lillie, Mallow, and Lana as the main characters along with their Pokemon. Lillie says that she's worried since their only acting experience has been the school play, but George tells them that they'll be fine, so they leave with him to do the rehearsal for the show. Meanwhile, the manager of Koi-chan brings her back to do another attempt. She tries the scene again, and when she cries out this time, her blue glow around her lingers, and she evolves into a Gyarados. This causes all the audience members to run away for some reason. Seriously, have none of them ever seen a Gyarados? The Gyarados then starts running away, and our heroes, along with its manager, start chasing after it. Who's that Pokemon? It's Magikarp! Somewhere else, Team Rocket is preparing for an audition in the studio. It's for a 12-hour drama to commemorate the 55th anniversary of Alola TV. This, if you're unaware, is a nod to the actual 55th anniversary of TV Tokyo that's taking place pretty soon. So, happy 55th anniversary to TV Tokyo. Anyways, there are a bunch of fighting type Pokemon waiting outside, but they're confident that Jessie will get the starring role. Someone from the inside calls Jessie and she leaves, determined to be the red carpet actress she believes she is. Somewhere else, the girl and George are in an empty room. They ask him what the show is going to be about, and he tells them that it's called Alola Drinkin'. Basically, 3 girls who protect Alola and have drinks that allow them to transform. He hands them a script along with the Pokemon, and they begin rehearsing. They do a brief run through of the script, and even though they don't do it too well on their first try, George encourages them and says they should continue practicing. Meanwhile, the Gyarados is running rampant along all the set, including going through a news show, the quiz show, before ultimately ending up in front of the director and the girls. Before that, it seems like the girls got the script routine down. The Gyarados splashes in front of George to tell him that he's the same Magikarp as before, and the director lets it know that even though it evolved, he has an idea and asks everyone to help him. We then cut to Kukui's house where all of our heroes are in front of the TV waiting for the show. Lily's nervous, but Mallow and Lana don't seem to be. It plays, and the story is that Mallow is late for school. However, when all 3 of them get to school, there are holes all along the floor, and it looks like it's because of a massive Gyarados. It's Koi-chan, and he's been painted to look way more menacing. The painting was done by Action Co. since the director decided that it'll be part of this show rather than the other one since it evolved. The Gyarados roar, so the girls' Pokemons bring them drinks. They drink the drink and begin a magical girl-like transformation. It's uncanny how accurate it is. Mallow's the pink heart, Lily's the blue heart, and Lana's the yellow heart. They are the embodiment of soda pop, pineapple juice, and roserade tea. Everyone thinks their transformation sequence is cool. Then in the show, the Gyarados spits fire, which was done by Kiawe's Turtonator, and they use their special move of land, air, and water combined to defeat the Gyarados, and it seems like that's the end of the show. We then cut to Team Rocket, who are running away from an explosion in a set because apparently Jessie told the director that she can do demanding roles, so the Gyarados is now a kaiju for the show. The narrator tells us that unexpected things bring about an opportunity and you should embrace them, and that's the end of the episode. The post-credit scene is Meowth letting Jessie and James know that the studios called them again. Apparently, they got beat up so well that they're being another similar role, and Jessie and James pout and yell that they're stars. This is a fun episode. Nothing really happens plot-wise. The preview from the last week actually made it look like it was going to focus on Sophocles' quiz show, but it ended up being about the Magikarp. The episode has some nice calls to things like in real life, like the Alola TV anniversary, having dramas, or the assistants who came to George to tell him that the actors being stuck are actually the hosts from the Pokenchi show in Japan. This is one of those episodes that is very Japan-centric. If you live there, you're gonna get it. You're gonna be like, holy moly, I know the voices of these celebrities, or, oh, they made a reference to something that's happening here. But in America, that's not really gonna translate much. So most people who are going to see it here are just going to see it as a filler episode. And truthfully, since it doesn't really advance any plot, I would be inclined to agree. The episode does have a good message, however. If things change unexpectedly, you can still make the most of a situation. There are a few questions and answers that I feel like I know most of them, but I'm going to ask them anyways. First of all, I was wondering how they would write off Rotom after Alola, but since it seems like the offer is still on the table, that's probably going to be what's going to take him off the show. Now, since they called this a drama, is this a one episode thing or a recurring thing? Usually, shows like the one Lana, Mallow, and Lillie did are long-running episodic shows, so does that mean they're going to continue to shoot this? I have a feeling that the answer is, once the actors in Sinnoh can make it back, they'll reprise those roles. But I think it's worth asking anyway since the episode didn't answer it. Also, people in the Reddit were asking why people don't recognize Shaman, and I think the answer to that is because it's so rare, yet it doesn't look like anything remarkable. Most people probably think it's just another rare Pokemon and don't even bother to question it. That would make sense to me. Overall, I had a fun time watching this episode. It's a very filler type episode, but there's a good message and a good transformation sequence that takes place in it. So if you're interested in seeing this, I recommend checking out this episode. You might like it. But anyways, that's it for my Pokemon Sun and Moon 113 review. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, like, share, and subscribe. You can follow me on Twitter at TheRealPDGaming, and I will talk to you guys later. Peace.